Liliana, hello.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Looking for my earphone. What's going on?
Just staying active, figuring out other new strategies for my website and trying to just do things. It's like this week was a little more writing and yeah, this link that I just posted right now, this one BuzzSumo. I found out about this one, and this is showing some of like the most popular content. If you type in the name of a website, like especially like a blog, you can see which links are on there are like the most active like socially. So I started putting in a couple examples for like Benny Lewis or Ollie Richards or Luca to see like what articles on their websites were performing like the most actively in terms of people sharing the content on social media or and I did this for Benny Lewis, and what was really interesting is that for you guys on the VK platform who know Evgenia Kasheva with the Language Heroes, she wrote a guest post Benny, and I noticed like on using that BuzzSumo, like the second most popular link, like the first popular link on his website was talking about his language hacking the book giveaway and promoting that launch. And then the second thing was this guest post written by Zhenya, and like I thought, oh, okay, that's cool, and I went to look at that, and I was realizing like, okay, this was that was a very active article on there, and then it dawned on me. I remembered that the people in that community, the Language Heroes, they kind of indirectly they sent me the article before it was published so that I could edit the English, and I realized like, oh my gosh, I actually took part in polishing the English for that article, and I'm like, wait, so in some way a little bit of this, one of these most popular articles, I mean, not in terms of like I didn't write the content, but at least making the content a little bit more readable and helping the English a little bit more. I was really like, I took part in that, and it just kind of was like, huh, okay, without realizing it, I've helped with some of the most popular content that's on Benny's website, and that was just like this, okay, I need to write more. I need to start publishing a lot more stuff on my blog to say like, okay, if the way you can kind of edit the words, make not necessarily just the content, but just editing it was kind of this kind of wake up moment a couple days ago where it's like, okay, I need to start writing a lot more on my website. And I know up until recently, I think there was just a bit of some kind of creation paralysis where like, what should I write about? Well, what should I talk about? And kind of trying to figure out a strategy for the like media strategy of like, okay, I could write about anything for language learning, but then I see there's a lot of websites out there of like how to do this or the top 5 to this, and I'm just like, it feels very, it feels like it's only being written to generate traffic, and I've been, I guess, a bit reluctant or reticent about wanting to just kind of publish something just for the sake of generating traffic. I mean, I know I need to generate more traffic, and then if I want to be able to sell other things aside from just teaching live lessons, and so yeah, the past couple of days I've been trying to write a little bit more, or get in the habit again of writing on a daily basis. Maybe not publishing on a daily basis, because then that just becomes, again, a little more unsustainable, where like if I start something, then I have to keep up that rhythm. But maybe I will write on a daily basis, but maybe publish 2 or 3 times a week, and start getting more feedback and comments, and really starting to kind of write content that is what people in the language exchange group or other teachers or other or content for my students to see what like what's the next step, because I think I want, like, little by little, less one-to-one teaching, because that is really blocking up my time during the day. I think with about 20 to 30 hours of those lessons, and then the preparations each week. So I really want to start getting into an ebook or some kind of a video course, little by little, having the content for that, and like nobody's going to do that for me, so I need to just start doing this little by little, and so yeah, that's about where I'm at, like, this week, of just, instead of talking about doing it, just do it, get started. It's not going to be perfect, but I just need to kind of, and I think some of the feedback I got was like an anecdote or something personal, was connecting a lot better than just like something very impersonal of how to do this and be how to be perfect at languages or something like that, and it's just, it doesn't quite ring with me. There's no magic pill you just swallow. So I think the only thing I can really maybe defend in that experience is just talk about what worked for me, and just talk about those experiences, and not necessarily advocate that I know the perfect solution, but just kind of connect a little bit more with what I've done, or what has worked. And I think with some of the other language bloggers, like Benny or Ollie or Luca, I think it's that approach, I think, is working a little bit better for, like, this worked for me, these are my techniques, you can try them, and like actually teaching something like we've done with the video courses, it may be a little more riskier in terms of like trying to defend an approach or defend a method. It might not work for everybody, but it's kind of describing that process, or just sharing a personal anecdote or personal experience. I think that will probably connect better. So that's just kind of where I'm at now, and getting your guys' input, like what you think would work, or what insights you have. I think that would be helpful to know a little bit. So
If I as far as I understood from your latest post, it seems that sometimes online teaching, online working, online interacting is sometimes quite overwhelming. So this is one of the, can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Yes. Mhm.
Because it was freeze. Yeah. So assuming that now we are coping with new way of interacting, and I think that we have uh, to do. I don't know if it's correct in English, but I would want to say ciao Arash. We have to do a step behind. I mean that I think that before starting to think about the online strategy and so on, I suggest attending a course about on digital strategy, because I think that theory is very important in dealing with all these matters. I say that because as per my experience, also in my new old but new experience now, I started again to study accountancy, even though I studied it before, and I had some little courses just to refresh my knowledge about all the facts. And I think that you have good ideas, and you have been inspired by other language teachers and other language I can say phenomena, but it's I think it's not enough to how I can say to prepare your own teaching style, which is, I think, as my I appreciate a lot your teaching style. I think you are a serious teacher. You are motivating learners and so on. But despite this, sometimes people are I can say maybe sometimes these language learners, just like Benny, just like other teachers, are very smart, but sometimes the risk is we lose quality. And I think you sell good quality services, but just to tailor all these services in a website and preparing strategy, I I suggest then having some courses on digital strategies, and then of course ask for help to us. I I'm available to do it as per my availability. There's no problem, but I think that first you have to have your ideas clear. And so, starting with theory, I think that the online courses, I can suggest some online courses for instance, in Coursera or other platform, university platform. I think that you have all the necessary knowledge to um, to learn from these platforms. And then with your ideas, using I don't know, for instance, a mind map tool or other stuff that you prefer the most, writing down your strategy just to going on, because and then I finish my little intervention. I think that you produced a lot of material that could be used again and again, but tailored in different platforms. For instance, SoundCloud. For instance, with podcast feed and other internet tools. but just to understand how these tools work, I think it's better to have the theory.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think no, not necessarily teaching methods, but just maybe kind of trying to figure out some things on like digital content strategy or media strategy, and because I've had the website for now a year, and it's just like I look at the stats and it's like, oh wow, 10 people joined, or some people looked at the content, and I'm like, well, okay, I haven't really been blogging because for a long time it was just I didn't really know what should I write about, and then with podcasting, I think my schedule was open, so I could commit to kind of recording myself or recording interviews like on a daily basis and doing stuff on like Monday to Friday. And then by the time it's like July, it was just like I can't. Once the teaching went full time, it was just like I can't keep doing this. And then the podcast is like I have like 2 interviews I have to edit, and one of them is from the beginning of September, and Monday, Tuesday it's going to be November, and it's like, okay, this podcast is like, okay, I have to start moving over to writing. That I can do in a couple. I can do in a sitting, and just get my thoughts on paper and do this, and I think with the teaching, it's starting to get a little overwhelming on like the number of hours that I'm dedicating for each student, individual student, going through the lesson, and then doing like 4 hours back to back, and then maybe 2 or 3 back to back, and realize like there's just a physical limit on the number of hours I can teach. There's a physical limit on the number of students I can teach with the one-on-one lessons each week, and other teachers out there who have transitioned from one-to-one teaching to little by little maybe having a video course or an ebook or something that can go from like I create that content once and then I can share this and or sell this or generate an email list. I know there's all these strategies and all these techniques, but it's like the time at the end of the day just kind of disappears, and I'm stuck with, okay, I can do something for a half hour, I can do something for an hour, and I know that time accumulates, just like I mentioned for language learning, like a half hour each day adds up, and I'm just kind of, my head is swimming, and I want to little by little do this, and I know there's all these skills. I've invested money in coaches and mentors and this product about how to do email marketing, this product about how to find your niche, this product about like how to create a course, and I'm familiar with all those techniques, but the problem is like, well, which one do I want to just like what people say the minimum product that kind of just that minimum, get started somewhere, do something, and I still struggle with that. And it's like if I took myself out and then just said like, okay, if I put this in another context, let's like food preparation or cooking, and say like, okay, I did all the master classes about learning how to be a chef, or how to have the perfect table setting in the restaurant. And if I had done all this stuff, and at the end of the day, people was like, okay, I want to open my own restaurant. Like, well, what cuisine is it going to be? I could do anything. Well, what do I like to eat? Well, I like this, but okay, but for the people who are going to come to the restaurant, well, what do they want to eat? And it's like, well, I don't know. But and I just kind of at the end, it's like I could do anything, but I just get stuck on this. Just get started with something, and I know yeah, I just get a little kind of overwhelmed on, yeah, I've done a lot of work, but without a strategy. So it's kind of how to, I guess the thing I can say is like, you can do a ton of work without a strategy, but the results are not there. It's not going to be 100% effective on like what's going to happen next. And I think a couple people are like, have the strategy, have something you know that's going to work, and little by little kind of produce the content that's going to fit that. So
yeah, I wanted to mention something first. It seems that you are trying to do so many things at once, and also the doing so many things. Okay, it's not bad, but the problem is that you're engaging with things that you don't need to, like for example, as I said, you can get help from somebody, assistant or somebody, to do those things like editing the video, this kind of thing. Yeah, so you free up your time, and another thing is that when it comes to strategies, all this marketing and this kind of thing, I'm not so sure about all of these strategies, because in the end of the day, if I enjoy doing something, I do it for my enjoyment. I'm not doing it to like necessarily for getting like, my aim is that the thing that I focus on is that I am enjoying the process of doing that thing, not how many people are gonna like it. I know that it's very hard to say, oh, because yeah, we want, for example, get money and income from those things, but it's counterintuitive. But a lot of times when we focus on enjoying the thing, we take focus off how can I make people like this, and forget about those strategies. A lot of times things work better. And for example, about relationships, for example, I am a member of, for example, some psychological websites like Psychology Today, and every day almost I see an article about strategies for relationship, like relationship, sometimes non-romantic, sometimes romantic. And I was thinking, I don't want to think of these strategies, what to say, what to do, what I want to be spontaneous. Why do I need to learn all these strategies? And also, right now, it came to my mind that I remember that I shared a video with you, and you even shared that video on the group. It was by Kyle Sees. It was about, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I am gonna say, but gonna start anyway. And yeah, that's. I want to remind you of that. A lot of times we try to, with these strategies, we want to make future more clear, more certain. But the best way, like the Kyle says in that video and many other videos, is fall in love with not knowing. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I trust that it's gonna go well, and that trust, that belief that everything is gonna go well, a lot of times is the solution, instead of every time, oh, what's gonna happen? Yeah, it's so hard even for me. I don't. For example, I shared my story with you. That's a lot of times I try to fight with. I don't want to have so much uncertainty about my future, but what can I do? We can't control everything, and the best thing is that trust what our intuition says to us. And of course, it's so hard because intuition, we get so much out of touch with our intuition over the years, because we are taught, oh, intuition is wrong, don't do that, don't. Yeah, we try to silence it all the time. So now, as an adult, it's so so silent that we can't even hear what is it saying to us. So, but yeah, strategies, I don't know. Yeah, and I understand your frustration. I remember myself, I had a channel on YouTube about personal growth and development, and you know, I got just one subscriber. Then a few days back, I was just on one of those videos that show up in next to, like, watch this, and I clicked on one of these. This was a vlogging channel. The person just shares his or her daily life. What is he doing? He's trying to film all the time, and I saw, wow, she got like 3 million subscribers. I said, 3 million for sharing the vlog every day. I said, I got 100. She got 3 million. At that moment, I was saying, I was getting, oh, why? I was feeling like envious. But later I said, no, the reason that we usually feel envious is because I think that person has something that I can never get. I said, no, there is no reason that I can never get that. It might take longer time, but there is no reason. So I stopped the feeling being jealous of that person, because, oh, she got 3 million. I was like, 3 million, what? Yeah, but after I saw, no, it's not impossible, and I saw, wow, her first video was like 6 or 7 years ago. So I said 6 or 7 years. I started 1 month. I'm trying to catch with somebody 7 years ago. So that's not logical. So yeah, I was just thinking that's too much a strategy. Even for me, it was sometimes my head, oh, so many strategies. What do I do? The best thing is okay, Liana, if I can find because it wasn't recently that I watched this video. It was 1 or 2 months ago. If I can find in my history of my YouTube, then I will share. She has like 3 million something. Maybe it's already more than that, but it was very amazing. I said 3 million for blogging. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for, yeah. So I released the mic. Okay.
Really, I don't know what to say. Do you feel any disappointment of yourself at the end of the day, Jonathan? Or how do you feel when you begin your lesson? Are you tired of doing the same every day?
I wouldn't say
the lesson.
I wouldn't say disappointed. Maybe just like
when did you begin to feel that? From what moment?
Maybe starting like this is probably like the third month that I've been booked solid of having. I mean, first I have to be very appreciative and thankful that I've gotten to that. So I'm not disappointed. The fact that like I love teaching and working with people, I love that. It's just at some point the like now getting like Mondays of okay, I'm not spending the entire day teaching the English languages back to back, like the lessons back to back for about like 4 to 6 hours. And Mondays are now this kind of, I can do stuff about foreign languages and I can practice learning languages and I can maybe try to have that kind of what's going to happen today. I don't know. And I think from Tuesday to Friday of, okay, I'm going to wake up at 6, get the kids ready. They're going to get off to school at like go to school around 7. Okay, I need to get my breakfast, go take a shower. Okay, now I'm going to have my first class at 8. And then my next break is going to be 4 hours later. And then I'm rushing and okay, we've done 59, 60 minutes. I need to get that person to stop talking so I can say my next student is ready. I feel like a doctor or a dentist or a kind of a next. Okay, and then by the time it's like 3 p.m., like this, okay, breathe. And then the kids and the family are already home. It's time for lunch, and there might be messages on Facebook that I need to answer, or emails about potential students, or current students who have a question and want me to review an essay or listen to an audio file to give them feedback. And I'm running, and then I have to kind of turn off magically at 3 p.m. and say my day is potentially over. And then there are a few evening classes because those people are not in Europe. They are from other European countries and Russia, but they're living in the States, so they're actually in my time zone and they aren't available during the day. So they're having to kind of accept at like an 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. time slot, and I'm like, I've already done about 6-7 hours on for the day, but I end up teaching 1 hour or 2. And so I think I want to be able to let new students know, okay, I teach during these daytime hours. I think by the time it's spending time with the kids, get them to bed around 8 or 9, in between there, and I just want to kind of turn off and rest. But then I'm still connected, and then I think like by midnight, it's like, okay, the day's over, and I know tomorrow is going to be that same the treadmill and run from 8 a.m. until midnight. And at some point, I'm like, this is not sustainable. I'm going to get burnt out somewhere, and I don't want that to happen. I love teaching. I love working with people. I love helping people. But the kind of what is this next? Where does this plateau, or what happens next, so that I can keep my sanity and not get burnt out, and like to be able to do what I'm doing. Well, I have to make money, but I don't want to just suddenly become a sleazy salesman trying to push products on people. I want to still be genuine, sincere, and not gimmicky, and want to really help people, and realize that, okay, once I can diminish this kind of one-to-one teaching to a lot of, I mean, there's a handful of people who are strangers that contact me a few days before the TOEFL exam, and it's just going to be a one-off or 2 or 3 lessons, and then I'm probably never going to see them again. And then there's a couple people who are signing up for like conversational English packages, and I check my calendar at like, let's say 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning, I'm like, oh, a familiar face that I enjoy connecting with that person and getting to know their progress, and not just, here are my tips, here's advice for taking the test that you're doing on Saturday or two weeks from now. And I don't necessarily have that like emotional contact or investment in knowing that this person is improving. And there's a balance on there of like getting to know a student over a couple months or a couple weeks, which I think has always been something I really enjoy. Of like, I can start to know how that person is improving in their language studies, and not just language, but also as a person. The language is helping them kind of accomplish other goals or open new doors, and that connection is really what I love. And although for these TOEFL ones, I mean, it brings in a little bit more money. I've done those tips over and over again. I think I would like to create a little ebook or a little, here's my first lesson. This is what I teach. I would like to just, okay, I've taught that over and over and over again. I'd like to sell that as an individual thing and say, okay, this, I don't want to keep doing that first lesson over and over again. I'd like to just take that first lesson, turn it into a product, sell it, and tell people, please go look at this. I've already said this multiple times. I think you would benefit from doing that. I think I don't necessarily get everything out of it from just repeating this information over and over. And I would like to say, okay, now that you've done that and purchased that, and you've taken my tips and all that, okay, what can we do now to personalize this for that one person? I think, I guess in terms of a course content, there'd be things like, okay, this one size fits for everybody. I would take a look at, do that, go take a little bit of money, invest it to just do that, and then we can talk for what works for you. And I think that's where I'm not disappointed, but I'm frustrated in terms of, I know that tomorrow I'm going to end up saying the same thing I said today to a new person, and like, I get burnt out on that, of saying like, I'm not connecting with a specific person over a period of time. I'm just connecting with, okay, this person wants a magic pill to get the highest score on their exam. And I mean, I don't want to necessarily take advantage of those people, but I would like to say, okay, I've been there, done that for this content. And then, yeah, like a frequently asked question, and kind of turn that into something. So I guess that frustration is now like, what strategy should I do for content? If like stuff that I don't want to keep repeating, stuff that I don't want to, like, stuff that should be like the entry point for new students, that if they want to get to know me, like, here's this stuff that I tell everybody, go look at this. And I guess that could be a starting point of, so that I can, each product I think is maybe serving some way to free up time for me, so that I can engage more on a personal level, and not just repeating a list of, go check out this link, go check out that one. Why do I say that? Because you'll get this benefits. Okay, well, how do I know that? Because I've mentioned that to tons of students, and they've all tried it, and they said they've gotten great results with that. So just don't take my word for it. Take the word of these people that have done that, because I said to go do that, because I got results, they got results. And so, like, stop like having to prove a point to people who don't know me, and just like, okay, so those are a couple things. I'm getting a clearer focus here of maybe not just so much of trying to like impress somebody or engage with somebody, but just saying like, okay, I know this content works, just sell it, and not just like that one-time lesson disappears as soon as the Skype call finishes. That 60 minutes is gone. And I know with a digital course, it's like it's an investment that's going to keep giving back, where it's like I produce something and I can sell it, or I can give it away, or know that it might be a way to kind of hook one person and hook 5 or 10. So I think that's a little bit of the frustration, is knowing that at the end of the day, I've done 24 hours and I'm not sure of like, what am I going to get back from that I've invested for that day tomorrow or a couple days from now. Like if I got sick and I couldn't teach, the whole thing just vanishes. But if I had some book or a product, I mean, like I get sick tomorrow, that thing still exists and it can still get sold or distributed and keep making some money passively over amount of time. And it's just like planting seeds, I guess, is what I'm getting frustrated is. I'm not planting seeds. If this was like the food restaurant business, it's like I'm just I'm not learning how to cook. I'm just consuming other people's food that they've made for me, and I'm not becoming self-sufficient on this kind of a like, it's like, okay, if I can't do anything, well, tomorrow I still have to go out and do that thing. And it's not necessarily like I'm gonna, I don't know, it's like if I'm gonna be cooking for myself today, do I just want to cook for that one meal, or I cook and say, okay, I want to have some leftovers this evening or tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, so that my work is a little bit more productive, efficient. Yeah, I would say that's what my frustration is that I do something for 60 minutes and I do that for 60 minutes 6 times, 7 times in that day. And it's, again, I have to cook, like a short order cook. I have to do that again. And it's not, I don't have any leftovers. I don't have that thing where like, okay, this energy level is full for every single student. And at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start over tomorrow and do the same thing. And it's, yeah, I'll stop talking now. I think you guys are kind of getting the idea what's going on here.
Do you have new students now? So you have to repeat the same once again. I saw some teachers on Italki write, I don't need new students because the schedule is overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can do this, not to have more new people.
Well, the thing is I'm not working through Italki really anymore. I'm teaching through Marina's website, and with the subscribers that she has and the videos that that we've done together, webinars and some of the videos, and she's heavily promoting, like she's taking the TOEFL exam, and then now on the videos and the cards and the comments, and she has a landing page for me for the lessons, for the packages, and she's putting the links of I'm promoting lessons with Jonathan, and so there's just like, I think on her Russian channel it's now up to about 50,000 subscribers, and I think her English channel is up to about 30,000 subscribers. And so there's kind of a steady stream of people I don't know who are her subscribers and will like, I need help for the TOEFL. I'm taking the test next weekend, but there are other people who want to do general conversational English and just kind of connect on that. I'm still debating on like those people. Are they my students? Are they my subscribers? They're not my subscribers. They're hers. But figuring out like, how do I engage with them? How do I engage with them in the long term? Because, well, I can't really steal her clients. I mean, it's her business, and so that's a little bit of a challenge to say like, what's going to happen if I do actually get a strategy in place and I'm able to kind of repurpose this content from all these lessons and maybe little by little become a little less dependent on her traffic. And I love the steady stream of teaching, and I have to be very thankful and appreciative that I'm doing that. But I'm a bit cautious of like, I can't guarantee that I'm going to have a perfect relationship with her and with her her channel and her people in the long term. I need to start making an investment in my people, and then sometimes like hiding a little bit of saying like, oh yeah, I have this Facebook group, but I'm not sure if should I tell people that I do that? Because that's kind of like, oh, I have this other website. Oh, I have a website. Okay, I do also have my own social media stuff. And then like, once they know that I'm promoting myself on my own website, it's like, whoa, okay, why are we paying for lessons with you through her website? And then I have to be careful of like, no, I'm this, you are one of her subscribers, and it's kind of driving me a little crazy in terms of trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of help the students, be kind of transparent with them to how to help them. And then the business side, there's been a couple students who like, they don't necessarily care about the transaction that I might have between me and Marina. They're like, well, why don't I just pay you on? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. And then, but then it's like, well, no, because I have this business relationship over here, and it's like the student doesn't care about that as an affiliate or as a kind of like a referral fee. They don't necessarily care about that. And they're like, so I'm trying to debate like, well, whose student are they? So are they my students? Are they connecting with me? Or who's soliciting some of this other content? I'm not actively kind of trying to take these clients or these students, and actually a couple of times people have approached me. Now there's like one person who has taken part in a couple of Spanish or French lessons and said like, can you now teach me Spanish and French? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I realized like, we don't offer Spanish and French on Marina's website. So this actually constitutes like, okay, that's converting to being my student. And there's little doubts on like how to navigate that. It's a little crazy. And I think with Marina, I probably need to get a written contract, something written in place so we know how to take care of these things. And I think she's been very approachable. She's been very easy to work with so far. I think we've had a very transparent business relationship there. But at some point, I think I was talking to Gabby Wallace about this, and she was saying, because she left her podcast, All Ears English, she was actually one of the people who set that up, and eventually she split with Dan. And Gabby was telling me like, like she was saying that when you get divorced, you need to figure out a way of who takes custody of the kids. And I had to look at that and go like, interesting. Yeah, I don't really have something written down right now. We haven't really figured out what's going to happen further down the line, because at some point, if there are students who are connecting with me because of me and not just because of the, like I start to get that reputation on my own without necessarily the promotion or the affiliate partnership or a referral, but people start to know me more and more, then it's like, now what happens? And so that, I guess that's another mental thing that's stopping me, is what strategy to do in that kind of complicated digital world where, like, people, if they want to do the research, they'll find me. So it's, yeah. But yeah, I see you have to get going. You got it. But thank you for your insights. Thank you for like the content strategy. I'll have to keep thinking about it.
If you want to talk separately about this, if there's another chance, I would be grateful to share with you my my little competence as per my studies. And so I know that this is in this Saturday chat you can find people that are willing to help you, because you helped us a lot in our English practice. So I think it's something that to give and to, okay, it's an exchange. So I think you were to be helped in this way. Okay, ciao a tutti.
Grazie, ciao.
Ciao, ciao, grazie a te, grazie a voi, buona giornata.
Buona giornata.
Yeah, so Jonathan, I don't know. It's hard to say, because there is a kind of contradiction there. I know it's sometimes hard to go to, like, how to deal with this contradiction, and not contradiction. The better word will be paradox. In one way, enjoying the moment, not caring about people liking it or not. In the other hand, for money or other reason, needing that liking part. So it's a kind of contradiction. Not care, but need that thing that we don't care about. So there are a lot of paradox in, especially in, like, self-development. I don't know. Even this self-development is kind of this self-development. Even this word is I don't agree with, because it's not that we are developing ourselves with those things. We are not developing ourselves. When we were born, and then we went to school, and by society, we are a lot of times we are brainwashed by society, conditioned by society, and this is not self-development. We are just trying to get rid of those brainwashings. For example, there are brainwashing that, for example, if somebody does this thing or that thing, that makes the person not good enough. So the person has to feel bad or something like that. We have to just get rid of those brainwashing that we are given. So in a sense, I don't agree that we are developing ourselves. We are just get rid of those fields. Like, imagine, where is my, okay, there. 1 second, I will. Like, imagine this flashlight, which has a lot of light in it. Imagine somebody makes this dark glass, and as a result of that dirt on the flashlight or torch, depending on British English or American English, the light is not coming out, and it doesn't have much effect, because trying to get rid of those dirts so the light can be like what's the correct word? Emission or yeah. So that's I think it's not solvable when we're just trying to get rid of those brainwashing. Yeah. So emit. Yeah. Emit. Okay. So yeah. So about these strategies, it's hard to say, and also the paradox. As I said, there are a lot of paradox in our lives. Not caring about what other say about what we do. On the other hand, trying to be like I don't know. Am I connected still, or maybe I don't know. Everything seems to stop in my internet. I don't know. Am I connected now, or I'm not? Is it? Maybe. 1 second. I will.
Okay, I maybe don't have much to say about strategies and so on, but what I know is really online work is very difficult. Maybe many people think it's like making money from air, but I think it's people who didn't try. I tried several times. First time I tried, I think 3 or 4 years. I was trying to do freelance work. After this, I give up because it's a lot of work and not much money from this. But it was a part work. So I was had full-time job, and it actually means you don't have free time at all, because if you want to do even not very complex projects, but some simple projects, anyway, you need 2 or 3 hours a day for this, and you have 8 hours at work, and you have 1 hour to go to work from work at 9 hours, and you have 3 hours to do. It's never 3 hours, actually. It's easily became 5-6 hours, and you have 9, I think. Oh, it's 8. Okay, where is another hours? We have 24 hours, right? Okay, I'm surprised. It must be left a lot of time, but it didn't for some reason. Okay, Arash, we see you now. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, I don't know. I think my internet cut off, and I'm not sure where until what point I was audible. I don't know where was the last thing, but yeah. So I was giving example. This is, for example, flashlight, and it has light in it, and this society teachings a lot of times become like I don't know, like a dirt on the flashlight, and the flashlight can't emit light as well as it can. So it's not self-development. We are just cleaning and get rid of this brainwash. They are brainwashing. So yeah, I'm not sure it's self-development. It's like washing. We are not developing something. So yeah, that's what I think about it. And these strategies and this kind of thing is usually kind of from a how to say, for example, you remember, Jonathan, we talked about this exam that I took, Estonian exam that I took. You asked me if I used those sample tests or things like that. I said no. The reason is that I do not want a strategy to make my scores better. Like those, there are certain strategies that can flatter my score, make it better than actually my skills are, make it better. But I'm thinking, for example, if you want to tomorrow go and take an IELTS or TOEFL exam, will you prepare for it, or you just show up and do it? I don't. That's my goal. That's my goal in the future. At some point, I want to be like a native speaker. Just show up, and that's why I say these strategies. Yeah, definitely they can boost my score, but I really, is that what I want to aim for? Boosting my scores with help of strategies? No, I just, if it is me, I want to just show up spontaneously and get get the score I want, and so that's why I don't even buy into that, or I never go. For example, of course, for Estonian, there are not exam specific courses, but for English there is IELTS exam course, TOEFL exam course, and even books, tons of books. But I want to deal with the language. My goal is not just pass an exam. I want to learn the language, and the byproduct is getting a certain score in the exam. That's not the goal. That's not what I'm aiming for. That's byproduct. That's just gives me feedback how much I progress. Of course, as we discussed before, it's very there are a lot of arguments that can these tests really assess the person's skills or not? There are a lot of debates about that. Can it? I'm not 100% sure, but okay, at least this is one way to measure our progress. But even so, this is not very accurate measurement, but still better than nothing. So yeah. So thanks. That's I guess all for now. So I release the mic, and maybe Vadim, I don't know, you were talking. You finished your talking, or when I came back, you just stopped because of me. I don't know.
No, I actually I was talking about. I don't know much about strategy. I know what it is, and I didn't try this kind of online business when you have blog and have subscribers. I tried another kind of business which is freelance, when you're doing some work for someone. You can do any work. I think now there are sites for any services you can do. I tried for and currently continue do some programming, and now it's second time I tried. Before I tried, I think from 2007 to 2010 or 11, 3 or 4 years, and I gave up because it's really difficult, and I can understand what Jonathan say, because you really don't have free time at all, and you have no choice actually. If you want to be in this business, you cannot do it 5 minutes a day. It's makes no sense. If you want to do it, you need to give it a lot of time. If you don't want, you just better don't do it. So I'm not familiar with strategies. Maybe in case of Jonathan, it's really important to have this knowledge, as Liliana mentioned. I'm not sure, but I think your business, it's connected to subscribers and these things, advertisements. So many people must visit your site, your blog, and you will benefit from this. Yes, maybe. I recently subscribed to one free course, free email course, when one guy sent me emails, I think once a week. It's about building programmers blog. I think it's important. Yes, I agree, because if you have this blog, you can show everywhere that you are a professional, and it's much easier to find online job or project for freelance. It's became much easier. Maybe I will find some time to read these emails, because I had no time still. And if I even don't have time to read these emails, I don't know how I can have time to build a blog which will be successful. I don't know. It's important, but unfortunately there are 24 hours a day, and people are very slow. I don't like how slow am I. I want to be 10 times faster if I can, but I cannot, unfortunately. So maybe if you know some secrets, you will tell me how to be better and faster.
Well, my secret would probably be don't teach 24, 25, 30 hours a week. If you have that free time for programming and developing a blog, take advantage of that, because I love what I do, but I'm trying to make this balance for the next stage. And so I have to do it in 30 minutes or 1 hour moments, where I'm basically uninterrupted, I guess. And those, I have to deal with interruptions, I guess, is what usually ends up happening between kids, between emails, between, yeah, so.
Yeah, I wanted to say I feel that there is too much emphasis on time, and even there is an old saying, time is money, and there is too much emphasis on time. But I think there is a more scarce resource than time, and that's energy. Even if somebody has 24 hours per day, there is no guarantee that he or she is gonna be able to do that. Even if 24 hours per day become 240 hours, 10 times get longer, every day get 10 times longer. Still, there is the guarantee, because the most important and the most scarce resource is the energy. The energy. People don't have energy to do things. That's the thing that runs out so quickly. So the energy is the most important thing. If we don't have energy to do something, doesn't matter if we have all time in the world to do it or not. That's the most important thing. So yeah, that sometimes we should focus on our energy and the ways how we can manage our energy and how we can be more energetic. That's one of the reasons that stress is stress is not good. Of course, this is also a belief, but the one of the reasons that stress can be detrimental to people is that it sucks the energy out of the people, and most of the time that comes from a belief, of course, because we are brainwashed by society that stress is bad. When somebody has belief that stress is bad, it's gonna be that person, the energy will be sucked out of that person with stress. But some people have believed that stress is good, then those people will have it won't suck energy out of them. So these beliefs are so important. If I after I stop talking, I can look for a TED talk that how to make stress your friend, something like that. It was by a psychologist. He was saying that, wow, I was trying to, I become a psychologist, I trained to become a psychologist to help people become happier, and I was teaching them something that was wrong. Stress is bad for you. And he was saying that the belief that stress is bad for you is gonna make stress bad for somebody, because those who believe stress, they have a lot of stress, but they believe stress is good for them, they live longer. But those a lot of times people who have belief that the stress is bad for you, and then they have a lot of stress in their life, they the rate of death for them or the problems that they have in life is very high, very much higher than other people. So much higher. So this so beliefs, and again, as I said, that brainwashing, because this is a very it seems very normal if somebody believes that stress is bad for you. It seems so natural. The people think this is a fact. This is not a fact. This is just a belief. Belief we are told, and a lot of time we don't question accept everything as we are told, and it raises a lot of problems. That's why I say a lot of times this brainwashing, because stress is bad for you. I don't have to accept that as a fact. Or I remember somebody was saying that there was a psychologist was saying that there were a lot of beliefs. For example, I remember she was saying that when he got pregnant, and after he gave birth, she gave birth to her daughter. In the hospital, they were giving tissues to everybody, and she asked, "Why you give tissues? Say this is after giving birth. What do you say after giving birth? The Latin form." Postnatal, something. I don't remember that Latin term in English. Postnatal or something. Natal. I don't know. So this there is a depression after giving birth. Depression after giving birth, and she said, "Why depression? I have postnatal euphoria." She was saying, "I don't have to believe that. I don't have to accept that," and she did not accept that, and it didn't happen to her. So a lot of times when somebody have a belief, it happens to them. For example, I can say something from my own experience, which is very funny. People can't believe it. People can't believe it most of the time when they hear about me. as you know, Jonathan, and I think Vadim and Tatiana also know that 4 years ago I left Iran. 4 years ago, and in these 4 years I have never missed being in Iran. I have never felt homesick, anything, and people can't believe how I never missed that, because I did not have the belief that, oh, I'm gonna miss or I'm gonna feel homesick. If I buy into that belief that I am gonna miss, yeah, it's gonna happen to me. But I never had this belief, and it's so natural. I don't have even never happened to me. So when people ask me, I don't want to, of course, get with them philosophical or psychological, but but the simple answer is that those who can't believe, because they have a strong belief in their mind that, oh, that's the way it is, that's a fact, anybody is gonna miss. No, it's not a fact. It's just something that you accept. So it's so natural for me, but for them, no. So yeah, a lot of times these beliefs that we have in our head come to reality. And for me, this is an example that a lot of people shocked. How you never missed? How you never missed? I never missed because I didn't believe that I would miss anyway. So yeah, that was a funny example that as I was talking, it just came up, not something that I strategically think, oh, should I say that or should I do that? Something naturally in the moment came up to my mind, personal example. So a lot of times, Jonathan, these strategies, you don't need them. You just need to trust and show up, and you will be just fine doing them. So thanks.
Yeah, I think yeah, there's a balance between strategy and trusting my instinct and trusting my intuition. And I think you're right in terms of, like, I probably know the answer for things, and I was probably explaining this to you, saying like I've just taught some of this content over and over again. I don't want to keep teaching that same thing over and over again. That's what's going to get me burnt out. So if there is that frequently asked questions, I think those frequently asked questions could be a side product, and then see if that actually turns into its own product or something for that. But I think I think I'm going to have to take the TOEFL myself, because I have just so many little tiny frequently asked questions, like, and can you do this?